Hold on, play the clip.
Like you being a Black American, you wouldn't be able to also tie down to where you're from, but it's not to take away from who you are or where you lived or where your generation is from.
I have two questions.
Right.
First question is, why is this conversation relevant? And the second question is, what makes you guys think that you can have this conversation with me? Who are y'all? You don't even live in your home country. You've never done anything significant. You've never done anything significant to change the world from your particular UK British background. So why do you guys feel like you have the audacity to step to somebody who are in relatively thought of the world, who are giants compared to where you guys are at? Why do you guys feel like just because you guys are melanated, you guys can sit down and have a conversation and sit at the table with us? Ooh, hold on. What's up, guys? My name is AdonisCrashBoom. Now, I want to show you guys a live stream that I have recently on TikTok, and I don't want anybody getting triggered. You can give your opinions in the comments down below. All I ask, these are very sensitive topics, and these are critically thinking conversations. So leave this video a like if you enjoy content like this, and show your love and your opinions and your thoughts and whatever the hell, you know what it is, all right? Please don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram if you have me on TikTok. Wow. TED Talks, the book, and Power. If you know, you know. Moisturizer that I'm using is Prada. Let's get it. Tell me something I'm wrong about. I asked them to tell me something I'm wrong about. You know, a lot of people tell me something I'm wrong about. So let's see. They looked and they said a couple things. Tell me one thing I'm wrong about. I just wanted one, like one thing. A lot of people have wrong misconceptions about these videos. These folks say crazy stuff in the chat, but won't say anything about it. All Black Americans being indigenous. I didn't say all, I never said all Black Americans are indigenous. Africans not having a census. I never said Africans didn't have a census. I never said all Black Americans are from America. And I never said all Africans not having, and I never said Africans don't have census. I'm the person that say Africans do have censuses. And I tell you the date when they're created. Oh yeah, I've never said those things. You said Africans aren't Black. Yes. I did say that. Bushido. Here we go. We're going to bring this guy up and we're going to watch this conversation. I could have just played this, but I wanted you guys to see my reaction. So where am I wrong?
You're wrong because like Africans have been called or have been identified as Black since like ancient times.
Who?
Since, like for example, the Spaniards will call us
it's called negro. Negro.
Negro, yeah, negro.
Yeah, that's not Black. That's a completely different word.
What does negro mean? Dark.
Negro means the color black, but Black is a completely different word.
Okay, but we've been identified as that Black color. We've been identified.
Yeah, but that's different than Black. You do understand that? These are two very different words. You understand that? See, you use the word Black as in a particular color. Black Americans don't associate the color Black with a particular color. So when I say, where am I wrong at? You're associating the term Black with being a particular color. We don't associate the word Black when we refer to ourselves as a particular color.
But even when, for example, we were called like the Moors, for example, we're called the Moors, and the word Moor.
Yeah, Moor is a color.
The word Moors comes from Moorish, which is also Black as well. Like.
Yeah, but it's a color, right? Yes. But that's not the word Black. Those are two names. Like, we're talking three different things.
Okay, so I will drop if you're saying, are you talking about Black ethnically? Is that what you're saying? Black ethnically.
The term Black associates to the particular lineage of the history that was taken away from the Black Americans who are here in America, who are in America. I'm in London. The history that's been erased. So when we look back at time to think about a piece of history of us, it's blacked out. That's what it associates to. It's a particular tribe of people that comes from a lineage. You think that when we say we're Black, because of social media and white people, you guys were influenced and institutionalized to believe that it means that your skin is Black. No, it has nothing to do with your skin. Yes. So I don't see where I'm wrong. You guys are just uneducated and institutionalized by white people, and then y'all all run with the same narrative. Even if you're from Africa, that's even more embarrassing because in Africa, they don't call each other Black. They call each other Africa, and they associate with their tribes. So the only way you got that term of being called Black was by white people, which you accepted. That's diabolical.
No, it's not necessarily. It's like we accept racial like concepts. We don't like.
You accept racial concepts from other races. That's still diabolical.
How? In what way?
Because a white person couldn't call me nigger and I accept it. But based off what you're saying is you accepted racial constructs by white people. They called you Black and you accepted it. Ooh. They've been trying to call us nigger for a very long time, and we never accepted it. We changed the word and took it back.
Ooh. Yeah, it's hard to disagree. I'll be real. Like, I understand where you're coming from. I actually understand where you're coming from.
It's critical thinking. It's just critical thinking. Are you in the UK?
I was born in Nigeria. I'm not really like.
All right, but are you in the UK?
I'm in the UK. Yeah.
All right. Everything they taught you, you need to start second guessing. You guys, I really feel like, I don't know how to say this in a nice way, but you guys who live in the UK are colonized and institutionalized on a very subtle tip, and y'all don't see it. So I understand.
I completely agree with you. You've done a lot for us, you feel me?
So based off what we said, I'm not wrong. You said it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, you feel me? I completely hear what you're saying. I could never go and say, like, I think that's something I do acknowledge, you feel me? Black Americans I do like advocate for like the likes of Black people ethnically, I'm trying to say in America, I'm trying to say, I do believe that you have shaped American culture in terms of music, I'm gonna say TV shows, hip hop and everything.
And
but I do think a lot of, and I don't want to sound xenophobic, I'm just saying what the perception is. I do think that with your big media presence, a lot of the culture is shown negatively towards like people globally, you feel me? And I don't think a lot of Black Americans get like
I don't think that. I feel like the people, even that statement, I feel like that's wrong. I feel like personally, a lot of you Africans and Caribbeans who are not in America or North America, you guys consume ratchet, toxic content.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so when you sit down and say it's us, it's like, no, you choose to listen to this and drink that and eat that stuff. We don't do that because you say, oh yeah, but the media, we got movies like Hidden Figures, you know, so there's tons of different movies of what you can consume, tons of different music artists of what you can consume. You guys like Sexy Red. Hey, one of you guys told me that Sexy Red was better than Beyonce.
That's a crazy statement. That's a crazy statement to all men.
Hey. You know, so you can't blame us if y'all like shit. Y'all want to eat shit? Cool. I'm going to eat lobster and pasta. Oh, you from UK, right? You in the UK? There's a person, they told me to go to this place. It's called Asagaya or something like that. I don't know what it's called. I'm going to
Cereal's a type of food. You said cereal. DMS, don't do that. Don't ever do that.
That's your man. One of the guys in the chat wrote Suya. I'll let you go. I'll holler at you, bro.
All right, cool. Love me. Thank you for allowing me on you.
No problem. These conversations are always positive, and like he's been persistent. He deserves it. I'm trying to bring somebody up, but this person popped up. I didn't know who it was. Oh, you're a girl.
No, Don. What? I thought it was like
it's the wrong person.
Say it again?
How did you get up here?
I've requested, you accepted, no? Or something.
I tried to get freak on. Well, okay.
Okay.
See, look what happened. I was speaking about what you tell the ladies, and now you got a lady up here. What's up? Watch the Riz. Watch the Riz. I'm good. What's your question?
Nothing, to be fair. I just want to know, like, okay, to be fair, like, since you're based here, right?
Not really, but okay.
But you live in, how long you lived here for?
I don't live here. I just be traveling in and out.
But you've been here, like, for a while now, no?
Nah, I literally just got back in this country probably, like, I don't know, three weeks ago.
So do you enjoy being in the UK?
Yeah, I like the UK. I like London. London is nice. That's true.
Okay,
really do.
fair enough. 'Cause I see your posts and stuff, like, it's always almost like a comparison to where you're from and, like, in the UK in general.
Okay.
And I feel like I've got, like, reservations towards you in terms of...
Reservations?
Yeah, like, in terms of, like, how you think.
What you mean reservations? Are we going to get lunch?
No. What I meant is, like, if someone's, like, saying to you, so this is their point of view in terms of, like, if I'm in the UK, this is what I see, or, like, you go off questioning people and stuff, but yet it almost feels like no one satisfied you in their response or answers. Like, you never seem to be satisfied.
Oh, what's your question?
My question is, like, are you anti-UK votes and stuff, or
Anti-UK what?
folks? Like, are you disagreeing with like most of UK people, what they say to you and stuff?
No, I'm anti-stupid people. I think that's the. I'm sorry, I could have said that a different way, but
Yeah,
in
I
reality,
feel-
I'm just anti-stupid people, and I feel like the UK has this particular culture where they're so nationalistic to their own communities that they will allow them to be stupid and obnoxious, and they don't really care if that obnoxious or stupidity
Is that what
disrespects
you?
anyone else.
Is that what you gathered around in terms of your interviews with people? Is that what you found out with the majority of your
Yeah.
customers? Okay, fine enough. But I feel like, to be fair, I do live in London myself, so I disagree in terms.
So you are trying to get lunch, huh?
Sorry?
So you are trying to get lunch reservation, huh?
No, that's no. It's late in London. It's literally like almost 2 a.m.
I know.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What's your question?
No, you shoot me a question. Let me hear it.
Huh?
You shoot me a question.
Oh, I don't know. Like, to be honest with you, I think that a lot of people in the UK have a misconception when they watch my videos. They don't realize I always tell them, and in the video, I always advise to watch the full video on YouTube, but they never do. They just run with this particular narrative of how they feel,
Yeah.
and they see me just completely body slamming every single melanated Brit that interacts with me. And it's not me doing that. It's just that they just come up and just say the most diabolical, belligerent type of shit to me and act like it's fact, where the conversation is not even warranted or brung up. Like they'll just randomly come up and just say the most disrespectful, diabolical shit. And then instead of being defensive about it, I'll just psychologically analyze the situation and respond with a more educational, informative response.
Don't you almost
True or
feel
false?
like the people that you're interviewing is almost, as well, to be fair, most of them like under 25-year-old. So have
No.
they been older than 25-year-old? Then
No,
you
I have a
different
vast-
response.
I have a vast age range of people that I actually interact with, but people don't watch the YouTube videos, nor do they watch the TikTok videos. Plus, I'm not in charge of everyone's For You page, so I don't know what videos you get. But it's literally vast amounts. And majority of the videos that I do interact with, there's only one rule that I have with my interviews, and it just has to be a group. That's it. So and people see what they want to see. I have older people that I do interviews with. I think the guys from Ghana, they were all like trying to get their PhDs. The other guys from Africa as well, they were all like here on business. They own their own corporations and stuff like that. I don't know. People see what they want to see. If you're only seeing children, then that shows a lot about you because the For You page is based on what you watch. So
You know what's so crazy? I'm not even on social media or even TikTok. This is like my page, which I actually made like a couple weeks ago. So it's not.
But they all say the same stereotypical talking point, and it's randomly. Like we'll be sitting down talking about like
So
today's weather.
What is your problem, or not problem? I'm not saying the word problem. What is your own perception of the UK folks? What is it that triggers you, or you feel like it's not up to how it should be, or stuff like that?
Oh, I don't really have a perception. I'm like throughout the interactions, I'm always on defense. Like I'm not even on defense.
But
I'm just
why are you
responding.
on defense? That's what I mean. Like, why are you on defense in terms of?
Because we'll be sitting down talking about like what are your thoughts on social media, and then randomly they'll say you're Black American, right? Yeah, are you African American? Where are you originally from? Where are you?
I'm from East Africa.
No. That's how the conversation would go.
Oh, right.
You see, like we'll be sitting here talking about something completely different, and then randomly, like you don't even know where you come from. What the fuck? Where is this coming from? You know, it's like randomly disrespectful stuff, and they have no education on our history at all, but they feel like they're relevant because they're popular melanated people in the UK, and it's just diabolical. And it's after let's have the conversation, and people don't like it. You know, it's like, and then throughout that, I haven't even been on offense. Like I haven't really been like, oh, really? You're from Africa? We're in Africa. Like, you know, let's talk about, you know?
You know what it is, right? I feel like majority of people that live in the UK or Europe would essentially know where their background is from. since obviously they have like a first generation, second generation of people from all over the world.
Even that's a
Well,
lie.
Sorry?
Even that's a lie. That's a
Why?
misconception that we've all agreed upon. That's not true.
No. Like, I can speak for people that live in the UK, right? In terms of like their parents from being from somewhere in Africa, and then their other parents or grandparents from there. So
So
they migrate over here, lived in the UK for a while.
But even that, like they associate that, like even that conversation, like, all right, for example, because the majority of you guys are immigrants and y'all come from a different place and you're in a
Right.
white society, you know, they ask you where you're really from. We're not immigrants. My family's been there for over 8 generations, huh?
Sorry, how do I pronounce your name?
Adonis.
Adonis. Adonis?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously for you guys, obviously you're African American, right? You're from the States. You guys all grew up there.
African American is a term that was popularized by Jesse Jackson in the 80s.
Okay, so what do you consider yourself as?
Black American.
Black American.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, fair enough. So in terms of like people from the UK or Europe essentially figuring out where they're from and knowing where their roots are, okay, in comparison to you who was
They
Black
can't know.
American. Wait.
Go ahead.
Wait, like you being a Black American, you wouldn't be able to also tie down to where you're from, but it's not to take away from who you are or where you lived or where your generation is from.
I have 2 questions.
Right.
First question is, why is this conversation relevant? And the second question is, what makes you guys think that you can have this conversation with me? Who are y'all? You don't even live in your home country. You've never done
Right.
anything significant. You've never done anything significant to change the world from your particular
Right.
UK British background. So why do you guys feel like you have the audacity to step to somebody who are in relatively thought of the world, who are giants compared to where you guys are at? Why do you guys feel like just because you guys are melanated, you guys can sit down and have a conversation and sit at the table with us
I do.
on this particular talking point?
Hey, I don't think it's like from a belittling way. I don't think it's someone's trying to shame you.
It's always from a belittling way
It
because
is. I don't think it is. I genuinely don't think it is. I just
So let me ask you a question.
okay.
If I randomly come up to you and ask you how many bodies you got,
Right.
if I ask you like how many bodies you got,
Okay. And I don't want to answer that.
exactly, then I say, oh, she don't even know how many bodies she got. She's a hoe. She don't even know how many bodies she got.
I think you get me so wrong. Like see.
I'm not getting you. I'm
wait,
telling you what
okay.
the situation is. This
But
is what it is.
you know, I feel like, okay, you know what, Isaiah? I feel like a lot of people might come across you in general, have interviews with you, and feel like they may want to be very like, oh, smart in terms of like, oh, hey, you don't even know where your roots is from. But for me, genuinely is, and I'm sure pretty much of the UK is going to be coming down to, obviously, like you said, we're immigrants. Like a lot of people from our families' background immigrated to the UK. We live there. Fair enough. But at least we do know where we're generated from. But
No, you don't.
we do know because like our
Look,
parents have come lived here or
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta break this down to you. Where are you from?
where I'm from,
Yeah.
Ethiopia.
All right. Hold on. I went to get the laptop immediately so we can have the conversation, but she's not
Oh
getting
God,
it, you know?
this is not going to be some debate.
She's thinking I'm coming
my
for her. I'm
country
like,
now.
nah,
Lord have
just
mercy.
pay attention. Nah, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to prove it to you something real quick. Because a lot of you guys, like in general, I feel like a lot of people in Europe, they don't really critically think. So when you say, yeah, we know where we're from, it's like, no, you really don't. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to give you an example. Ethiopia. You know that your family's from Ethiopia, correct?
That's right. But you see, this is not like a situation where it's like we have to expand on where I'm from or
But even the idea
my
of
family
you guys
lives in.
saying that even the idea of you guys saying that you know where you're from is
Okay,
false. It's just, hold on, I'm gonna let you speak. It's the idea of anybody from Africa saying they know where they're from is false. It's a concept, a social
Okay.
construct that we've all agreed upon. We've all just accepted that you guys are from the continent of Africa, even though some of the countries that are from Africa were just fairly new and recently created. The borders from Africa. So majority of your countries, yeah, the land was there, but the country wasn't there. And before that, it was hunters and gatherers. So you had to transition from throughout multiple artificial countries that can possibly not be where you're claiming to be. So when you say like, I'm from Ethiopia or I'm from Nigeria or I'm from Ghana, it's like, no, these countries weren't created back then. So you can't really quote unquote say you're from there. Your Your great grandfather could have been traveling as a hunter and gatherer through Africa. And he probably could have originated from Egypt. But we don't know that. We just accepted that reality and never challenged you on it.
Okay,
And said,
so
okay.
wait, so if you're saying that about people from Africa in general, what country they're from, so the term you used to describe yourself was Black African. So where then that generate?
Who said Black African?
You said you're Black American, right?
Yeah.
So where does that term generate from originally? Black
So
African.
the term Black American, America was named after a person, an actual person, which represents the continent of North and South America.
So before America, who did the land belong to before America?
The indigenous people, as far as we know, as well as some of the Moors.
Right. Okay.
That was a question.
So you think Africa just come across recent? Is that what it is for you? Like the
Do I
continent
think
has come about?
Africa was come across recent? What do you mean?
Like in terms of like what you're saying to me right now, like African people and stuff, or countries, Ethiopia, Nigeria,
No one knows where they come from. The idea or the concept of where your particular lineage comes from is something that you can't even go back in history to figure that out at all.
You can, because there's different DNAs in.
Well, there are different DNAs, but your DNA, they can come to an estimate. Even the term, the DNA in general, DNA is just for entertainment purposes. If you actually like Google it, like DNA is just for entertainment purposes. The only way you can actually track like where you're from is genealogy. That's it. So even DNA can't confirm ethnicity. So when you say like it sounds great, but like when you really critically think and ask yourself these questions on each part, no, you figured out that no one can actually confirm where they actually come from at all. We just accept it. There's no records.
You know what? I'll leave as that. Have a good night. Ciao, ciao.
Whoa. Whoa. Like, what are your thoughts on that? You know, if the video ends because I ran out of space in my camera, but I'm gonna keep the video going. You know, like I have these conversations, but it's not trying to be like rude. It's just like let's critically think, like really think about it, you know? That's all I do is really think about it. Like no one knows where we're from. Like we just act like we do, you know, and I just let it rock. But yeah, you're right. Don't get to like, but that's all my stance. Like a lot of people think that I don't like Africans or I don't like the people from UK. I really do. I just don't like ignorant and stupidity. Like you can't just be like diabolical and say shit that just like just for the sake of saying disrespectful shit. Not saying she was, but majority of people that we interact with, you watch these videos, they're just being diabolical for no reason. And it's like, bro, are you like why? Like I don't understand. You know? Combo is reductive. All right. So this is the guy I wanted to bring up. It's your first guy. I don't know, Mr. 3 minutes. He said, "Give me 3 minutes and I'm done."
3 fucking minutes.
Nah, bro. I'm sorry. I tried to get you, but I don't know how she popped up.
It's all good, man. It's all good. First of all, I just want to say I appreciate you letting me on here, and I definitely had not that it's all the way changed, but I definitely had a misconception of you.
Okay.
Okay. But we're here to, I suppose,
what was your conception of me? What was your perspective of me? I'm curious.
Rage bait, if I'm honest.
Oh yeah, you definitely have. There's no. First of all, that's not good for branding. Second of all, there's no point to. Toxic views are not good views. All views are not good views. If you're not learning or looking to learn, what's the point of posting a video? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah, I get you. So my thing is right. Well, not my thing. Okay. I wanna it's your platform, so I don't want to disrespect you. I have got questions that I wanna ask, but should we talk about the Jamaican thing, or can I ask you a question first to understand what?
Whatever you want, bro.
Okay, cool. Right, okay. So what's really interesting to me, obviously, because I grew up in a different culture, I'm Zimbabwean born, and came here when I was 5 years old, came to England when I was 5 years old. And I mean this in really like in a non-critical way, I don't understand the way some Americans, like you, not even negatively, think in terms of how you got your viewpoints. And basically we've been taught two different things. So the fundamental thing is like when you say like obviously you say Black Americans, and then you say are you saying that you are indigenous to America?
Oh, all right. This is a constant conversation. All right. So Americans are mixed with a lot of different things because of the slave trade and what happened to our ancestors itself. So when the British came over to America, I would say Christopher Columbus, but Christopher Columbus never touched foot in America. But when the British came over to America, they teamed up with a couple of the Indians, the Native Americans, the indigenous people that were there. And those indigenous people had enemies of themselves, which the British actually enslaved those particular people. So there was enslaved indigenous people and non-enslaved indigenous people. And then the slaves that actually came over, those slave masters needed more people, so they bred those people. So when you sit down and say, are you indigenous? The major problem that a lot of people in America have is that everybody says, you're African. It's like, no, I'm not fully African. Like, yeah, I can say maybe I have some African blood in me, cool, but I also have a large indigenous blood in me, and also between the years of the mixing of itself. So it would be very disingenuous for me to be saying like, oh, you're African. Well, am I Italian too? Am I indigenous? Like, why is it always you're only African? It's like, no, we went through a whole different situation over here in the slave trade. We went through a whole different situation, and you guys don't know the story of what happened to us. Nor do a lot of people care. So when they say like, are you saying you're not African? No, we're not saying that, but you can't just only specifically talk about the African DNA in me when there's a lot more stuff inside of me that can counteract that. It wouldn't make sense. It'll be disingenuous.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think I'm not saying that I believe this, but I think the kind of people are very poorly articulating is that when you'll know this, I'm guessing you'll know this, when a white person, at least in the UK, looks at you, right? They're not going to consider you anything other than black. Do you know what I mean? We all get lumped into one thing, and I think that's what they're saying is regardless of whatever genealogy or your what was it called, your phenotype is always going to dictate the class and social experience that you have. I think that's what they're saying. That's not what I'm saying, although there's an element of truth of it, because I think it's very wrong, like for people to diminish your whole identity. Like when people come up to you and say, oh, you don't know where you're from, that's really fucked up, man, especially considering what Americans went through. That's fucking disrespectful. That is disrespectful. And I'm glad you provided more context on that. And I think the reason why I got the misconception of you is because on your Instagram clips, it's obviously clips so you don't get the full thing. Do you know what I mean? You don't see the little thing. So I understand now why you talk a little bit like the way you do. And obviously that's just a result of growing up in two different places, being taught two different, lies, I suppose, of history. My only thing though, in terms of disagreement, and we don't have to be disrespectful.
But hold on. But I just gotta clarify. That's certain people's stories. In other people's stories, they've only been indigenous. So there were some slaves that got over, but not enough to mix between the whole slave trade. There were tons of Black Americans here. A lot of us are full blown. My grandmother, from my father's side itself, is Navajo Indian. Like literally, when I sat down with her and I'm like, Grandma, what are you? Before she passed away, she's like, I'm Navajo Indian. That's why my hair is like this. That's her full bloodline. That's her full lineage. That's where she's from. So when people look and they have this misconception because they sit down and think like, oh, it's the Indians, and they only have this one perspective or this one painting of what an Indian looked like, it wouldn't make sense. So when I have these conversations with African people, I'm like, listen, why do you think I'm African? It's like, because you have dark skin. And I'm like, yeah, but we all know that melanation is just a mutation within the skin. It's a mutation based on the environment. We got places like Mexico. We got places like California, Nevada, with a full-blown deserts. You think that Africa is the only place that had this particular mutation? No, that doesn't make sense. But it makes them feel good. But hey, if they want to be disingenuous to themselves, then okay. But for me, I know the history of my culture and where I'm from, and for me to marginalize one particular story because it makes a lot of other people feel like they can relate would be disingenuous to my people. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I very much take the same standpoint. If somebody, I've had it actually with Americans. Obviously not all Americans. If an American or anybody, regardless of American, insults my particular culture and heritage, it's fuck them, regardless. Do you know what I mean? And I feel
I
like
try
that's how
not to say
you
that.
operate. Oh shit, sorry.
No. I try not to say that. You know, I can't do that. I have to just educate in the most appropriate way with general situations, but not marginalize every single black person in America into the same situation because
Oh yeah,
everyone's
it's like
story is
literally
different.
F that particular person who said that.
Nah, for me, I wouldn't say. I'm gonna tell you something. Whenever I do these interviews and someone says something that I do not agree with, I will just walk around what they're saying and talk around it until they get them put themselves in a position where they're answering the correct question with the correct answer, and they come to the conclusion. I don't want to say f them or feel animosity. I don't want to give people that much power. I understand that I come from a culture where we have to constantly critically think based off where we come from. And I understand a lot of other people don't have these particular tools, not tools, but gifts that we have from being in America, which is fine. But I don't want to give them that much power to be like, fuck them, I don't care. It's like, nah, this is light work to me. These conversations is light work to me. And to even moonwalk, Michael Jackson moonwalk around these conversations with them, that's why it looks like rage bait because I'm not even trying. This is not even it's not even like, I'm not even trying in these conversations. It's like, bro, this is my history. You're asking me questions. Okay, well, since I already know the answer, let's walk around it and ask you this and this. And now you got the answer.
Yeah. It's like a fight for a script, and you've already got the fight scripted out. I get
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So
basically.
the only thing that's I think we disagree with, and again, this is not out of disrespect. I've gained a lot of respect for you today, so appreciate that and everything. Is the whole is the only thing is the
Caribbeans.
Jamaicans being the only reason that somebody like me is even in England or has an opportunity to be.
Not the only reason, but a significant impact which allowed you to be here. And why don't you believe that?
Even okay, so when you say significant, really have to define what that means. I wouldn't even because like when you say significant, are you saying like a majority or
Yeah,
just a
majority,
notable?
more than majority, more than majority.
Okay, so that's what I would disagree with.
All right, explain.
So basically, I am born in Zimbabwe, which was
Hmm.
called Rhodesia before it gained independence. And even that, you fully explained. Me saying I'm born in Zimbabwe, that's a white man's border at the end because them borders weren't there.
Hmm.
So obviously, because of colonization, okay, put it this way: my grandmother was born a British citizen because she was born in the colony, right?
Was she born in? Do you know when your grandmother was born?
I think she was born in like 1940 something.
Okay, all right, but she wasn't born in England.
Yeah. But she was obviously England had colonies, and if you're
Yeah,
born
yeah,
in a
yeah. Okay, okay,
colony,
okay.
you were held British passport.
Hmm.
Um, so she was born a British citizen under the Commonwealth, right? So obviously the lots of people, European countries, England included, came to Africa and took resources from those countries, and they had no intentions really of empowering those countries from like long term. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever taken a trip from like Scotland to like London, like on a train, and you when I take that trip, I'm like, what? How the fuck did this tiny island get all the fucking resources and infrastructure to build this shit? This doesn't make any sense. Because you see like the old train stations and stuff like that and how long they've been for. So
Right.
basically, I'm just saying the African resources have contributed. I mean, actually, there's actually estimations of how much it is, and it's even in the trillions to the
Yeah,
point.
we don't agree. I agree with that 100%. But that still
So
doesn't mean that you guys, that the Caribbeans aren't like haven't made significant reason for you to even be in the UK. Without
no. I said I would say significant, but you would say
more than
majority.
50%, more than 50%.
Okay, enlighten me.
All right. So the Windrush for World War II was about 1940. I just did a little bit of research on Zimbabwe itself while we was actually talking, and Zimbabwe gained its independence in 1980. During the
Yeah.
particular time where Zimbabwe had his first census was around 1962. So 1962 is your first census. 1980, you grabbed your independence. During that particular time, you guys did not have the right to leave or move, or even your passport wouldn't allow you to transition over to the UK. The only reason that you have the opportunity to transition over to the UK is because after World War II, the United Kingdom sent out its call to its allies, which is the Caribbean islands, the India, and all these different people that dominate London at this particular time, because that was the landing place for all these integrations. And they started the spread of integration itself. Before that, even when they got here, they were treated terribly. Thus, the start of the Notting Hill Carnival, which allowed, which wanted to break the ease of actually the cultural diffusion of it all. So if it wasn't for the Caribbeans who introduced themselves into this particular environment, who helped rebuild the UK, majority of, and like you said, 1980 was the first time you guys gained your independence itself, you wouldn't have the opportunity to even be in the United Kingdom without the Caribbean people. They are the people who opened the doors. They're the people that shifted people's perspective, along with the civil rights effect that what Black Americans have done. But on the land of the UK, I can't disrespect them and say, no, they were on the forefront of the UK. They were here, and they were the people that were dealing with all these racist British people, and they made their foot, and they did what they did for you guys.
So you're not talking about from, I think there's been a slight miscommunication, but even then I think I still disagree. You're not talking about from a, how do I say, a logistical, like, resource material.
No. Yeah, no.
You're talking about it from a social, like, Jamaicans did that thing, but even then, there's like something that you missed out. So my mom, actually, you find a lot of people, not just Jamaicans here. If you ask a lot of people what their parents' profession are, it's some kind of healthcare professional, not even necessarily doctors and nurses, whatever.
So he goes on and on. We go back and forth talking about that particular history, but we both agree that, it's the main reasons was because of the Caribbean people who were actually in here. And at the end of it, we all agree. If you want to actually see the end of that video, I could post that full, or I could post any one of these videos separately up onto the channel and say, I want to see the rest of what happened. I'll post that as well. This is like a 2-hour clip itself. But I wanted you guys to hear what actual interviews happened when I was live, and the interaction that happened when people just disagreed or what my perspective or have their false opinions on what was actually going on in these actual videos. What are your thoughts? What are your feedbacks? These are all for educational purposes, of course. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And like I said, knowledge is power. Knowledge is key. And even at the end of this video, I asked the guy what he wanted to say to the people, and he said, my perspective on you was like Florida. I asked my guys, your first census was in.
Dude, again, but yeah, appreciate that. Told you I wasn't trying to make it clip. Told you I wasn't trying to make it clip.
I know. I already could tell that you was a good person, you know what I mean? So like when you came out, I was like, all right, let's have the conversation. But yeah, we had a good time at the end of it. Sorry, I'm trying to get this clip out today. So thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. If you have TikTok, you have a TikTok. I don't think America's gonna bring back TikTok, but follow me on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter and Threads. My name is AdonisCrashBoom. You guys are watching Adonis Live. Education is power. Communication is power. The more we can educate each other by communicating without being derogatory and disrespectful, the better off the world would be. If these videos hurt your feeling in any type of way, try to articulate your disapproval or your disappointment or your disagreement with it in a more educational way without being derogatory. Maturity is the key to actual communication, and education as well. My name is AdonisCrashBoom. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for trying to be educated. Thank you for choosing education today. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Let's get it.
A J Rod, a J Black, a J Black.